who comes and stops us in our tracks. Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Hello. Hooked up my internet different. And yeah, this is flying. I now have, let's see. Let me share these groups, and then I'll show you the power of my internet and why I was getting upset as to why it was not working the way it was supposed to go. So what I did was hardwired it. But check this out. Watch this. Watch this. Boom. 926 download, 900 upload. That's what matters. See, my upload, every time you see it go down, is because my upload is not doing what it's supposed to be doing. Now, of course, my camera is out of focus, so we'll just fix that real quick. That's easy. We'll just change it to standard definition, and I'm back. So, yay. A lot of stuff. A lot of good stuff today, man. It's hard to explain. We're gonna be in the 12 by 12. I need to get a new 12 by 12. This one's out of date. Because I was reading with my sponsee, and he kept reading on. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? And I guess in the new ones, they have a new long form after. And so I think I'll be bringing one home from the church. Need to rename my AA meeting. I want to change it for 164 and more. So let me put that up to vote. In fact, let's do that now. Let's do that now. I know exactly where that backspace button is. All right. Put that there. Put it here. Isn't it fun doing this stuff with me? No? All right. Well, welcome to Daily Trudge. My name's Dion. Tradition 6 is very long, but I'm sure I'll turn it into something longer. Probably not. I'm getting kind of wore out. Yeah. If you're here, please say hello. Whether you're watching live or the rewatch. I've been getting a lot of support lately, man. A lot of support. That was a weird noise. I don't usually hear that noise. All right. Nothing new is on the screen. Okay. I think it's because you can't have two Facebooks open now doing two different things. It won't. You used to be able to do that, but no, not anymore. Find different ways. I'm pretty mechanically inclined, so the only reason I don't know much about cars is because they just don't interest me. But I can change out if I have the instructions, I can do it. Yeah, but gotta follow those instructions. I'm an instruction person. Like, I've been trying to figure my flight thing or my drone out, but this phone sucks. So I'm not even going to do anything with that drone until I replace this phone. No. I'm going to remove everything too. All right. Tradition 6, an AA group ought never endorse, finance, or lend the AA name to any related facility or outside enterprise. Less problems of money, property, and prestige divert us from our primary purpose. What's our primary purpose? To stay sober and help other alcoholics to achieve sobriety. That is our primary and only purpose in AA. And we're not affiliated with anyone. We are Switzerland. We are neutral. We do not go in on those things. Now, as individual members, we can, but not AA as a whole. The moment we saw we had an answer for alcoholism, it was reasonable, or so it seemed at the time, for us to feel that we might have the answer to a lot of other things. We're going to find out real quickly how we stay in our lane. The AA groups, many thought, could go into business, might finance any enterprise, whatever in the total field of alcoholism. In fact, we felt duty-bound to throw the whole weight of AA behind any meritorious cause. And I get that. I understand it. I get it. But we're bleeding deacons when we do this. You know, if one person is represented, Bill W. didn't represent, he didn't, no. He was a member of AA, just like you and me. So is Dr. Bob and the good old timers and all these people, Joe and Charlie, you know. Here's some of the things we dreamed. Hospitals didn't like alcoholics. They still don't. Can't blame them. Can't blame them. So we thought we'd build a hospital chain of our own. Oh, that'd be the loudest, rudest hospital in the fucking world. People need to be told what alcoholism was. So we'd educate the public and rewrite school and medical textbooks. I'm partially reading this because of the whole stigma thing being pushed right now. Okay. We've been through this before. In fact, 10 years ago, we went through it. These are people making money. And they'll be like, we encourage you to look. I'm not going to go look. I don't need you to educate me on stigma. I lived it. We'd gather up derelicts from skid rows, sort out those who could get well, and make it possible for the rest to earn their livelihood in a kind of quarantined confinement. I understand it, but it ain't gonna work. I mean, listen to the pride already happening, the prestige. And that's what it is, money and prestige. Maybe these places would make large sums of money to carry on our other good works. How much money did Jesus have? I think it was none. What does that tell you? Yeah. Money has its place. Keep it there. We seriously thought of rewriting the laws of the land and having it declared that alcoholics are sick people. No more would they be jailed. Judges would parole them into our custody. Sometimes we need to be jailed. Yeah. Let me tell you something. Because of my time in jail, I didn't want to go back. Now, I'm not saying I didn't drink and drive. I did. But I was never drunk and drove. It was the hangover the next day. I was still buzzed, but I wasn't drunk. Now, it's still drinking and driving. Okay? But I would walk my happy ass to that liquor store because I knew if I drove, I wasn't coming back home. No way I'd make it. So, jail can be a good thing sometimes. It stopped me from doing a lot of stupid shit. I could tell you that. I'll tell you did that. We'd spill AA into the dark regions of dope addiction. Here we are, out of our lane now, and criminality. We'd form groups of depressives and paranoid folk. The deeper the neurosis, the better we'd like it. It stood to reason that if alcoholism could be licked, so could any problem. It's just getting worse, isn't it? Right. It occurred to us that we could take what we had into the factories and cause laborers and capitalists to love each other. Now we're getting ridiculous. Okay? Okay, what do we have here? What we have is a sober horse thief. Our uncompromising honesty might soon clean up politics. Ain't gonna happen. Ain't gonna be able to do that. With one arm around the shoulder of religion and one around the shoulder of medicine, we'd resolve their differences. Having learned to live so happily, we'd show everybody else why we thought our Society of Alcoholics Anonymous might prove to be the spirit of a new spiritual advance. We might transform the world. Now look where we're at. Now we're going to save the world. We're going to save people from themselves. We're going to Yes, we of AA did dream those dreams. And even now, I still get it. I understand why. The overpowering feeling of giving it away can be immense. It can be just as big as the obsession of alcohol. Yep. Why do you think I'm doing this for the third time today? Now, I didn't tell everybody I was going live this time because they don't need to hear from me 3-4 times a day that I'm going live. That's why I like Facebook, because it let people know. So, right? How natural that was, since most alcoholics are bankrupt idealists. Thank you for calling us out. I'm an idealist, man. I come up with an idea a minute. I don't listen to a lot of them. Some of them catch on, right? I mean, I've been going through growing pains for the last 5.5 years here. 5.5 years, and I'm still sitting here by myself. So what? Somebody, sooner or later, is going to see this. I can dream and expect all I want, but it doesn't mean it's the way it's going to happen. Nearly every one of us had wished to do great, good, perform great deeds, and embody great ideals. We were all perfectionists who, failing perfection, have gone the other extreme and settled for the bottle and a blackout. Providence, through AA, have brought us within reach of our highest expectation. So why shouldn't we share our way of life with everyone? Because people don't like being told what to do. Let's look up Providence. Look it up. It's not just a city in Rhode Island. Providence, God. What else do we need? Divine guidance, divine direction, and care by worshiping being. Okay, so Providence, being God, should have just used that, right? So why shouldn't we share our way of life with everyone? Here's the problem. There is nothing out there that's the Alpha Omega. Nothing. There is nothing out there that is everything. No. There's no company. There's no resource. Okay. It takes a tribe, and it takes a tribe because each person is kind of an expert in their own area. I'm an expert when it comes to my recovery. I'm an expert when it comes to my experience. I've talked about it a lot. I share it quite often. I educate myself so they don't sound silly. Okay. Oh, now these are all things that I'm doing because of character building, because that's what I want for myself. I don't want to be famous, but I do want to be infamous. I'm not going to fool myself. What does that mean? What does infamous mean? It means that I want my name to carry on after I'm gone. That's what it means. Whereupon we tried AA hospitals, they all got bogged down because you cannot put an AA group into business. Too many busybodies cook, spoil the broth. And that's where we're at with a lot of stuff. No, we do it my way. No, we do it my way. Well, no, we do it. Ah, see, there's a problem. All these instincts in collision. Huh. When really what all we're supposed to be doing is meeting them where they are at. If we do that, then what you have is empathy and humility when you can do that. What is going to be phenomenal about that? Well, number one, you're going to be able to understand, okay? And you won't become a big shot about it. AA groups had their fling at education when they began to publicly whoop up the merits of this or that brand. People became confused. Did AA fix trunks or was it an educational project? Was AA spiritual or was it medical? Was it a reform movement? In its consternation, we saw ourselves getting married to all kinds of enterprises, some good and some not so good. Watching alcoholics committed willy-nilly to prison or silence, we began to cry, there ought to be a law. And we did get a law. It's called you can't drive drunk. You can't public intoxication. They put laws on it, all right, didn't they? Okay. I do not disagree with these laws. I never have. Not when I was being honest with myself. Why? Because I'm dangerous. That's why. Because this alcoholic in his cups becomes a very dangerous person. Even with what I said earlier. Nope, I'm still a dangerous person. Okay. Blacking out, who knows what I'm going to do? All right. There ought to be a law. A commenced to thump tables in legislative committees and agitated for legal reform. That made good newspaper copy, but little else. We saw we'd soon be mired in politics. Even inside AA, we found it imperative to remove the AA name from clubs and 12-step houses. They're called Oxford houses. Now we call them sober livings, right? What I'm calling mine is the Hayworth house, but it is not called the AA sober living. Now, the Hayworth house is a 12-step based sober living. It's based on we're going to run it by the traditions. This is now. Does that make it AA? No, no. Now, if we hold meetings there for everybody to come and join, that would be an AA meeting. That would be an AA meeting. What in that AA meeting would need to run just like every other meeting. Would all the money go to the house? Nope. 10%, just like everything else. Christy Weaver booking confirmation. I didn't book anything for anybody named Christy Weaver. For your payment. Yeah, this is a lie. Whatever. Okay. God, they're getting pretty tricky with these emails, man. Question everything. Question any communication, question it. If you don't know the person, right? So even our 12-step clubs, they're 12-step clubs. Right? York Street here is owned by AA itself. I didn't know that till like a week ago, actually. These adventures implanted a deep-rooted convictions that in no circumstance could we endorse any related enterprise, no matter how good. We of Alcoholics Anonymous could not be all things to all men, nor should we try. So when I see people pop on the scene, right, doing what I do, and all of a sudden they have 500 followers, this shit is bought. And it's bought. You can buy followers. Sure, I get those ads all the time. Would you like more followers? Yeah, but I want people that are actually going to participate. I don't need numbers. I need listeners, actual listeners, right? Now, could I? Sure, I could. Would I be breaking AA tradition? No. But it doesn't fit. Doesn't feel right, does it? Doesn't feel right. And I didn't do this to make money. Years ago, this principle of no endorsement was put to a vital test. Some of the great distilling companies stopped. Some of the great distilling companies, I'm going to tell you now, right now, this was just a ploy to get more people to drink. And that's what I would have told them then. Was put that some of the great distilling companies proposed to go into the field of alcohol education. It would be a good thing, they believe, for the liquor trade to show a sense of public responsibility. They wanted to say that liquor should be enjoyed, not misused. Hard drinkers ought to slow down, and problem drinkers, alcoholics, should not drink at all. Alcohol is just not good for you. We have found that out. We didn't know that. They didn't know that back then, but it's just no good for you, especially for me or for any of us alcoholics. All right. In one of their trade associations, the question arose of just how this campaign should be handled. Of course, they would make use of the resources of radio, press, films to make their point. But what kind of person should have the job? And that's usually the question. Even the plain English book coming out, which I think is just fucking ridiculous. But that's just me. I guess we've got to serve the needs of the dumbasses. I don't think it's going to work. I don't think it's going to work. I hope I'm wrong. But I don't. How are we going to pick that person? How's it going to be done? Is it going to be written by 100 people again? Who are these people? See, it was the first 100. It wasn't hard to figure that out. How are you going to do it now? Democratic evening up process? We're going to vote on this? Well, nobody asked me to vote. GSRs. They immediately thought of Alcoholics Anonymous. If they could find a good public relation man in we're full of them. All right. Why wouldn't he be ideal? He'd certainly know the problem. His connection with AA would be valuable because the fellowship stood in high public favor and hadn't an enemy in the world. Hadn't an enemy in the world. And we still don't. So for all the crap talk that people do about AA, nobody buying it anymore, man. I see these people. You don't need AA. Their eyes are dull. They look like they look hungover. They do not like they carry hope around at all. Certainly not any courage. I may need to end this. Hello? Hello? Who? Nope, you got a wrong number. All right. The house is in a trust and the person is dead. So, yeah. Next question? No, it's all right. Thanks. Bye bye. Well, I'm looking for the homeowner. Well, I'm the homeowner. It's in a trust right now. Nothing will be done. Besides, we have everything. I mean, she took great care of this house. Thank you, Barb, by the way, for giving me such a great house. Soon they spotted their man in AA with the necessary experience. Straight away, he appeared at AA at New York AA headquarters asking, "Is there anything in our tradition that suggests I should not take the job like this one? The kind of education seems good to me, and it is not too controversial. Do you headquarter folks see any bugs in it?" What a great place. What a good thing to do. And smart because AA would come after his ass. It's called lawyers on retainer. Yeah, we have lawyers on retainer. You think people don't try and sue AA? Good luck. It's suggested. You can't. Now, when you start taking money from other people to help solve their problems, you best have insurance because you're going to get sued. Sooner or later, somebody's going to sue you. So I say once again, be careful with your resources. Because if you're a recovery coach and you said, "I love this sober living," they go over there and that person dies, you realize you're liable. You're liable. At first glance, it did look like a good thing. Then doubt crept in. The association wanted us to use our member's full name in all its advertising. He was to be described both as the director of publicity and as a member of Alcoholics Anonymous. See, the trade association didn't give a fuck about AA. They just wanted to sell more alcohol. That's my belief. Of course, there couldn't be the slightest objection if such an association hired an AA member solely because of his public relation ability and his knowledge of alcoholism. But that wasn't the whole story. For in this case, not only was an AA member to break his anonymity at public level, he was to link the name Alcoholics Anonymous to this particular educational project in the minds of millions. It would be bound to appear that AA was now backing education liquor trade association style. No. Mm-mm. Same thing's kind of happening today. And let me qualify this first because I'm not putting anybody down, but I am going to state some facts. Number one, Jelly Roll has great music. I don't even like country. I like his music. Okay. If I'm feeling down, want to cry in my beer, I'll listen to Jelly Roll. Okay. Is he making a difference? Sure, he's letting people know education, but it is a very, very fine line, and people are using him to do it. Now, what happens, because Jelly Roll still uses drugs, from my understanding, what happens if he accidentally takes a wrong pill next week and dies of fentanyl? These are just facts. No one person can be the face of recovery. Faces and voices of recovery, no. Voices, sure. Faces, nah. Where's your humility in all this? See? Don't get me wrong. He's a good guy. I think he's got a great heart. I also think he's a lemon, and he's being led along, and fame and big shotism and all this stuff for an alcoholic or addict is bad. The minute we saw this compromising fact for what it was, we asked the prospective publicity director how he felt about it. Great guns, he said, of course I can't take the job. The ink wouldn't be dry in the first ad before an awful shrink would go up from the dry camp. They'd be out with lanterns looking for an honest AA to plump for their brand of education. Absolutely correct. What does it do? It creates division. And we cannot have that. Nope. So when you come along talking shit about AA or what I do or what other people do, you're creating division and you're full of shit. Period. Okay. And if you want to have a discussion about that, let me know. We'll even go live. That'll never happen. There's not anybody in this state that's willing to debate me live. I guarantee it. Not on this topic. Now, get the opposite view of me. Bring them on. Let's do it. I'd be happy to. I might even be wrong about some things. Great. Good. Then we'll make them right. See, you can't get me. Because even when I'm wrong, I'm right. Wow. AA would land exactly in the middle of the wet-dry controversy. Half the people in this country would think we'd sign up with the dries. The other half think we had joined the wets. What a mess. Nevertheless, we point out you still have a legal right to take this job, and correct. And you still have every legal right to take this job. I know that, he said, but this is no time for legalities. Listen to this next part. Alcoholics Anonymous saved my life, and it comes first. I certainly won't be the guy to land AA in big time trouble, and this would really do it. Concerning endorsements, our friend had said it all. We saw as never before that we could not lend the AA name to any cause other than our own. Yay! All right. Thank you for being here. Rewatchers, I appreciate it. I hope you have a good day, rest of your day. I just hope you have a good rest of your day. Thank you. I love you.